My hands shook as I stared at the class reunion invite that had just appeared in my inbox 10 years, a decade since I'd been Rachel the scholarship charity case at Windsor Mighty, where tuition cost more than my mom made in a year. I almost deleted it until I saw his name on the planning committee. The same Nathan who'd asked me to prom as a joke, who'd made sure everyone knew my mom cleaned houses, including his parents, for a living. The invitation mentioned a "where are they now" segment. 10 years ago I'd sworn I'd become someone they couldn't look down on. Now I was a third-year medical resident with student debt that would follow me into my 50s. I clicked decline and tried to forget about it. 3 days later my phone rang with an unknown number. "Rachel, it's Emma Winters from Windsor. I am calling because we noticed you declined the reunion." Nathan's ex, who'd been decent to me exactly once when she warned me Nathan had asked me to prom on a bet. "I am busy," I said, trying to ignore the immediate return of my teenage insecurity. "That's what everyone says," she laughed, but the planning committee wanted me to personally reach out to our scholarship alumni. The way she said scholarship still carried that slight inflection charity case. "I am on call," I said, which wasn't a lie. "Hospital residents don't get weekends off." There was a pause. "Oh, you are a doctor." The surprise in her voice was exactly why I'd declined. Rapt out scholarship kids can read medical textbooks too. That's amazing. Nathan's going to be so excited. My heart stopped. Why would Nathan care? He keeps talking about how he wants to apologize to people he was terrible to in school. He's different now. After his dad lost everything in 2008, he had to actually work for a living. Against my better judgment, I asked, "What does Nathan do now?" "He's a teacher, public school if you can believe it." I couldn't. "Please come," Emma continued. "Most of our class turned out exactly like you'd expect, living off trust funds, posting fake, perfect Instagram lives. You actually did something with yours." 2 weeks later, I found myself in a hotel ballroom wearing the one designer dress I'd bought myself when I got into med school. Nathan spotted me immediately. He lost the cocky smile and designer clothes. He looked normal. "Rachel," he said, approaching slowly like I might bolt. "I didn't think you'd come." "Neither did I admitted. "I owe you an apology several. Actually, I was the worst kind of entitled brat, and what I did with prom was unforgivable." I'd rehearsed a cool, dismissive response for this moment. Instead, I heard myself ask, "What happened after I left Windsor?" He looked down. "My dad's firm collapsed 3 months after graduation. Eat out, he'd been running a Ponzi scheme. My parents lost everything: houses, cars, their social standing." "I read about that," I said. "The scandal had made national news." "The worst part wasn't losing the money. It was learning that none of our so-called friends would even speak to us afterward." "A sight, Emma. She's the only one who stood by me." I glanced across the room where Emma was watching us anxiously. "You are a doctor now?" he asked. "Orthopedic surgery resident." He smiled. A real smile, not the smirk I remembered. "That's fantastic, Rachel." Tyree. The "where are they now" segment started, and I watched my former classmates share stories of inheritance management and social media influencing. When Nathan's turn came, he stood up. "I teach 8th grade science at Lincoln Middle School, and I run a scholarship program that helps kids from my school apply to places like Windsor." His eyes found mine. "Because I learned the hard way that where you come from means nothing compared to where you decide to go." Later, as I was leaving, Nathan handed me a business card. "We need doctors to talk to our scholarship kids about careers in medicine. No pressure, but if you ever have time." I took the card. I always have time for scholarship kids. 3 years later, Nathan and I run the program together, and my mom no longer cleans houses. She manages the foundation we started for first-generation college students. Sometimes life doesn't give you revenge. It gives you something better, the chance to break the cycle.